Alright, try another rapid game. I swear I'm gonna figure out OBS someday. It is the bane of my existence. Our game yesterday recorded poorly. I had it open on the wrong chess.com window, so it was just me talking, and you couldn't see the board. It was just the chess.com home screen, but I played another Caro-Kann and lost. Probably could have played better. I think I had chances. Went all the way to the end game. It was a pretty good game. But let's focus on this one. We got Emmanuel 68. He wants c5. If I push, takes. I guess I don't see why not. If he wants to trade a central pawn, that's fine with me. He gets his queen out right away. What's over here for you? Queen. I think knight f3 is probably fine. I like that his pawn blocks his bishop, so he can't give me checks here. Sometimes that's interesting for him. Okay, so that's the point of the queen here. Kind of strange move order. Seems like a waste of a tempo. Let's just keep developing, I guess. Put our knight here. Maybe we'll push e4 next. Kind of expecting, well, I can't go here. Kind of expecting knight f6. Okay. Let's say push, take. Similar to my last queen's pawn game, where I don't think b4 works. However, his queen's out here. It's a little different, so I think I can just play e4. And if he wants to push, maybe I just capture. Okay, so d6 is going to be maybe a long-term weakness. It's backward pawn. He might buy for the fianchetto. He's making a lot of pawn moves. I wonder... I don't think h3 makes sense here. I don't really mind if he plays this because my bishop's going to e2 anyway, so it's not really a pin. Okay, pretty normal. Thinking about bishop g5, takes. Maybe castle. Castle or bishop g5. Get the dark squared bishop out. Okay, we are recording. I see the board. Boy, let me think. Probably nothing wrong with this. He might just play the knight out. If he captures, maybe I don't mind. Then he could just kick me back. I'll just castle. It's probably good. Okay, he prevents this knight maneuver. Now what? What should I try? Position feels just a little clumsy, but he's underdeveloped relative to me. Maybe bishop e3, knight d2, f4. Kind of try to crack the center open. Otherwise, a3, b3. Actually, bishop d2, might make more sense. At least the bishop is looking at a diagonal rather than a pawn. It seems conservative, but I think it makes more sense. Okay, pretty normal. Oh, actually, I restricted myself from this maneuver. However, maybe I can get this in now. Any tactics? Kind of. He could maybe take. Okay, I don't think this works because it takes. Maybe h3. I can go knight h2. Making way for f4. I think that kind of makes sense. He's playing quite fast. I'm playing faster than I typically do. And having clock management problems, so trying to keep the tempo up just a little more, but still think about positions. I kind of like trying to play for f4. And I think I can actually get that move in if I move the knight. What else does he got? I mean, bishop or knight here. Let's give it a shot. f4, supported by the bishop and the rook. He's still underdeveloped, so if I can get an attack going here, maybe I'll have an edge. Maybe he's making way for f5. He's pretty open. I'm almost thinking takes. Let's say bishop here, takes, then this pawn is pinned and I can capture. I'm also preventing f5. I'll try it. Let's see what he wants to do. If he plays f5, recapture pawn or bishop, say bishop takes, maybe pawn takes. Pawn takes, then I get doubled f-pawns. I don't know how much I mind that, because this one might get traded off. Anyway, I won't have that weakness if it does. Let's see. My pieces are all developed, except my queen. But my queen might be hopping out here. And he's just underdeveloped, so I'm trying to take advantage of that by opening up. Okay, yeah, f5. Takes. Yeah, f5's good. That's too bad. Because he's defended twice. Well, I win a pawn. Maybe a bishop. Or exchange bishops. Maybe I trade here, rook comes down, and then I play queen g4 anyway. And I'm also vacating the square for my knight, which is then going to pressure d6. I kind of like taking here. Bishop takes. I think I can play this. Then his knight's under fire. Or his rook is under fire. And he has to do something to defend it. And then I can take h6. assuming he doesn't drop the rook back, which he might have to do that. And then I get knight e4 and hitting the rook again. I like taking. Queen g4. Hitting the pawn, hitting the rook. He doesn't have a light squared bishop. If rook f6, knight e4. And I think this attack is coming along okay. Unless I'm missing tactics, which is always very possible at this level. But yeah, you can't, I mean, I think I'm holding all the important squares that his rook might want to go to. Yeah, so now I get knight e4 in. And he can't defend h6 now. Maybe rook back, rook all the way back might just be the best. Because rook here might his queen might want to swing over. And the rook kind of prevents that. My queen is in the way of the knight, but the knight can always come back to f3. I don't know if I still want to even push f4 now that I'm getting this in. His king's getting weak, especially if this falls. So maybe opening up the rook might not be a bad idea. He might be in trouble here. Queen and knight make a good attacking pairs. They can converge on squares, and the knight can also hit squares that the queen can't, depending on how they're placed. So they're good to have in combination with one another. Yeah, what's he do here? He kind of has to put the rook back. I think it's got to be one of these. There's nothing else. Maybe here has to be played because after takes, I'm threatening mate, so he might want to defend that. So let's say rook all the way back, takes. He can also just play bishop f6 and hold it like that. Doesn't really matter. Then let's see, the bishop still might be okay here until he moves his king. Then I have to move it because the pawn will no longer be pinned, but I might get a move to do something like play f4. Okay, rook back. Let's just snap up this pawn, I think. Or, yeah. Let's just snap up the pawn. Okay, queen trade. Do I want a queen trade? Not really. Check. Doesn't work. Maybe back up. Let's back up. And maybe trying to crack open with f4. Open up this rook. Seems like a good idea. If takes, Maybe take with the bishop, just get it out of trouble. Might be simplest. Also, like if his king moves, I have to move the bishop now. And here, takes, 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 takes. Maybe there. Also, this is open for the knight now. Okay. Rook e1. Guard my knight. What if I go here anyway? He takes. I take. He takes check. I recapture, and then I'm threatening mate. But he's easily defending that. Let's just go rook e1. Guard our knight. That was a good move. Yeah, good move. Getting his queen into the defense and attack with tempo. That's good. I still feel fine about this, but it might get complicated. This is not available to me. If he goes here, I might take. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. Getting his piece over. Okay, f4. Take. Take. I think f4 now works. What knight here? It's probably one of these two. Okay. That's a good move too. Okay, he's defending pretty well. So check. If I go here, takes. Takes. Bishop back might work. So take here, queen takes, rook takes, king recaptures, maybe rook f1 check. This also defends the bishop. And I have a pretty good discovered check here to win his queen if he captures with the pawn. And maybe keeping the tension is best. So, okay, rook g4, or bishop g4, knight g4, holy cow. Pawn takes. It's pretty dangerous. Check. Rook blocks. Take with check. Boy, it's a little risky. Up. Okay, here. Takes. Check. He blocks. Take check. Captures. Check. I don't think he can capture with the pawn. Oh, this is also double check, so he has to move his king. Oh boy, this is maybe crazy, but I want to try it. I'm not sure I've calculated this right. It was a little complicated, but it just seems like it might work. I don't think he can capture. I think it's too risky. Maybe here. Oh yeah, you can just queen trade, huh? Okay, well, it is what it is. Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Alright, think about this. Yeah, I misplayed this. Got a little ambitious. Should have just retreated, I think. But we are where we are now. Queen here, maybe. He takes. Dang it. Okay, low on time now. This is also hanging. I kind of think I have to go here. That stinks. If he captures, wins the rook. So how to avoid the most material loss here? Because this is hanging. Although, so I take, and he moves his bishop somewhere, maybe back. He's up 4 points, he'd be up 3 points. This might be best. Here. He still has to open up to retake the bishop, so maybe I'm okay with that. I don't know, this will be interesting to analyze after the game. I've certainly given the advantage back, but like he has to expose his king to win the bishop. That's kind of what I'm seeing here, and I also can win this pawn. So it's like not all hope is lost. Rook back, I guess. Rook up. That seems dangerous. So I get this check in. My king's open too, but I don't think he has any checks yet. Yeah. What if I check you here? What do you do? Kind of complex with all the knights here and queens, wide open king. I feel like his king being so exposed that I'm not going to feel the material so much yet until he gets this rook in the game. So I don't know if he goes king here. I don't have any knight checks. He's too far away. But I win his knight. And hitting this knight. Okay, king back. Check. Here. I feel like I always have this check coming. Let's just take the piece. Now we're only down 1 point material. Maybe a plan will present itself, depending on what he does. I think he has to get his rook over here, here, maybe. I could control this square, like so. I could threaten checkmate, but he's guarding that square twice. Check. Let's say king up. What do I have after that? A discovered check. Check. Win a pawn. Oh, whoops, I hung a knight. GG, that's probably it. That's probably game. Man, I was so close. So close to pulling out of that. And I don't see a way out now. Oh, that stinks. This almost worked. I feel like it should have. I think you should have taken with the queen. Still don't like my chances, but if I move this knight, then he gets checks in here. King up. It's just hard to get this knight in the attack. This is probably the only try. At least if he blocks like this, then he drops his queen. But he can just move his knight in. Still might be kind of tricky. Do I have any tricks? Let's get the king off of this back rank so he can't go with check. I want to avoid queen d1 check because then this, if he captures with his rook, he hangs his queen. But before that, if I played here, he had this in-between move check. And I would have to move my king, and then he could, you know, defend the rook. His rook would be under fire if he moves his queen. Yeah, that's perfectly good. Any tricks? Not quite. Not quite. No, this is probably the only try here. He has to keep his queen here. Here, push. He's just a little tied up. Okay. If he repeats, I'm fine with that. He's not going to go, like, I mean, rook back here. I don't think anything's changed. I think I can just queen here. He probably doesn't even have to. He can maybe just move his king. King back here. He's probably fine. Yeah. Okay. I don't have much here. Say push. Doing my best to make it difficult for him. This is held by the knight. He has no check there, but very quickly I think he's going to find a way to swing a heavy piece over and get me. Okay. What if here now? Then he checks. Up. Takes. Takes. That doesn't quite work, does it? Push. Takes. This doesn't work. It almost does. He just has this check. Resign. Too bad. I had a winning position for sure. I just screwed it up. Let's see what I should have done. I think I got too ambitious in that attack, and retreating the bishop was the move. Let's see here. F5 is a mistake. Takes, takes. Really? That's weird. I guess maybe I was considering this. This was kind of complicated, so... Is this okay? Yeah, I mean, still a slight advantage. Not quite as crushing as I thought. He had pretty good defense here. And yeah, I mean, this is still playable. I thought it was. This move, I think I responded to poorly. No, I didn't. Even here was still okay. It's just... I should have just, okay. Yeah, I didn't see this until a little later. So here, yeah, I gave my advantage away. And still felt that there were some chances. We're still in the game here. Boy, yeah. I mean, he was so exposed. I'm down 4 points in material, but he's so exposed to my knight. My knights and queen, I just couldn't see it. Rook over is good. Really? That was the bad... Yep, that was the decisive blunder. I just gave the knight away for no reason. That's just the way it goes sometimes. You know, you get into time trouble and you try to make decisions quickly. And you give your pieces away. So... After here, like, what am I threatening here? Push. Oh, we're just going into check. Okay. We're trading queens. And this is the only move, basically. So we must get like a fork here. No? This is how... I'm just curious why this is equal. 4 pawns to 6 pawns. Okay. Maybe that's why. I mean, it's certainly complicated here still. Knights are hard to calculate. Well, that was an interesting game. I think I had a good idea. And I saw a good chance to win his H-pawn. Executed this pretty well. Didn't want to give the queens up. Maybe, I guess maybe I should have. Maybe this endgame is winning enough where I can just give the queens up, trade everything down, and beat him in the endgame. Well, anyway, that was an interesting game. Sucks to lose an interesting game, but it was still fun. Yeah, so that was game 7. We moved to 4 and 3. We kind of found our home here somewhere around 1500, kind of what I expected. So yeah, hopefully the next one goes a little better. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching. If you did make it this far, if you gave a like or subscribe, that would mean a lot. Especially such a small channel, everything. You feel everything. So yeah, thanks.